So I'm going to look at the arabesque first. I'm afraid my music page is different to yours because it's in a different book. But hopefully that won't make any difference to what I'm playing. Okay, so starting at the beginning, don't start it too quick because you need to try and keep it moving fluently rather than having to stop because you're playing it too quickly for yourself. So take it slowly at that speed. And then you repeat, okay? One thing you may have noticed is that when I get to these bars, I keep the left hand staccato like you play at the beginning. All right, you were tending to then lengthen them a little bit. All right, they should really continue the same. Doesn't matter what the right hand's doing. The chords in the left hand should really all stay staccato if you can. All right. Now, you mentioned jumping from here to here. Okay, I think you can do it. You're just a little bit unsure of it. So we looked at what happens in the left hand. All you've got to do is swap the 3 on the middle C for the 2. If you do that, the lower part of your hand will automatically move down. So I think the 5 on the G will find itself. The thumb stays where it is on the E. So it's only the middle C. You've just got to change the finger by 1 finger. Okay. You need to learn where the right hand goes though. And it actually goes down an octave from E to E, although it goes to a 3rd finger. All right. But it is just an octave. So try the bar before this bar. And then just practice the jump without playing and see if you've arrived with the right fingers and the right notes. Do that a few times. That's called a silent jump for practicing. Okay, so you don't actually play the keys, you just make sure that your fingers have arrived on the right places or in the right places. Then you play it. Now the first time bar, you go to both E's, E and E, thumb and 5, so that your fingers are then placed to start from the beginning again. Okay, you repeat that section. I'm just going to start towards the end of it, and I'm going to go on to bar 2 now, which goes up an octave. Okay, now the next section you had, all right, just a bit hesitant, but you did have it, so just take it slowly. Join all the right hand notes up. Now here's the tricky bit. Okay, so you may need to take some time practicing that. If you do, don't go from the beginning of the bar. Take it from where you should have a phrase mark printed in the music, the start of the phrase, which is G and E. They're both in the treble clef and they're both 2nd fingers. So the left hand comes under, then the right hand goes over. Right, make sure you've picked that up first. Left hand goes under, right hand goes over. Okay, then you shouldn't be going under or over really at all now. You go to D sharp with the A, which I think is the tricky bit. Because you're going to a black key in the left hand, the right hand tends to want to do a similar thing, but I'm afraid the right hand plays 2 white notes, but the left hand's going up to a black key. Now, the right hand does come over a little bit, but it's not a turn, all right? It just reaches to the G sharp, and here you need to latch on that you've just got white notes going all the way down in the left hand to find the chord back at the bottom. So try that bar a few times, then you're back to the beginning again. Okay, again, I'm not doing it that quickly, I'm just trying to keep it going. Right, now here the music changes. The left hand you don't move at all right? All you do is play the D. All right, the two outer notes have stayed the same. It's just D, D, and then back to the C. That's all it is. The right hand plays B to start with. Now, I didn't pick this up in the lesson, but you need to write it on the music. This E is tied, a bit like further up the page that you've got a D that's tied in the right hand. It's a similar tune. Okay, so that E needs to be crossed out, that second one. You don't want to play it. Just play it the first time. So you play it here, then you hold it, then you join back in again. Okay. Now, if you want to do the repeat, you can. It's not a difficult ending. It just goes back to this bit again. And so on, all right? And then when you go on to the second time bar, it's just simply that first bar, the music that you played, the same bar. Then we're jumping to what would be your third bar of the music. That's this bar. Okay, and now all you're doing is playing those same two bars an octave higher. So instead of down here, you're up here. And again, you're doing the D chord, or the D notes. That's an A, that very, very high note. That's where you should end up. Okay, now, where do we go from here? Well, the right hand's got to come down over 2 octaves to the E next to middle C. The left hand goes to the E below that. So that's where you should be for that bar. And then you didn't seem to have any problem finding this last chord, which is A, E, C and A minor chord. So I'll do that ending again from the second time bar. So you're repeating the same 2 bars an octave higher here. Then a big jump down, E, and then the chord.